Welcome, dear friends, to New Heart, New World. I'm Rasika Manjari, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today's topic is on, are you sick of suffering? Now, humanity is diverse, to say the least. We have so many varieties within the scope of what it means to be a human being. But one thing we all share in common is the experiences of happiness and distress, and they come and go like the seasons, and we're often yo-yoing between them in their infinite varieties and different shapes and forms. And often we don't actually look for them, but they find us. Now, we're usually pretty okay with happiness in its essence, and we're quite enthusiastic about it, and we will definitely go there. However, distress is another thing altogether. We actively avoid it. Now, why is that? So the reason is that distress or sadness is not the natural state of the soul. And as we've spoken about in previous videos, we as human beings are spirit souls having a human experience. So it's no secret, however, that suffering is actually an inherent part of life. It's everywhere, it's all around us, and we usually experience it at a very personal level in different ways throughout our journey in life. But what is the point? Really? I mean, why can't we just be happy all the time? If God loved us, he or she wouldn't even create distress at all, would he or she? Really? I mean, these are some of the questions that cross our minds or even plague us sometimes when we're challenged or frustrated in our attempts to find happiness. Now, a little more on the subject of suffering. Actually, suffering is an integral and fundamental aspect of our evolution as spiritual beings. And the Bhakti Yoga tradition teaches us that the world was meant to be a place of suffering. It was meant to be that way, to wake us up and to polish us up. So it's a bit like the grit of the pearl or the pressure of the diamond. I mean, without this, these things of great beauty would never come to be. And we are very similar. We need that kind of stress and pressure to remind us of who we really are and get us back into shape. So we're constantly being refined and strengthened and polished by our experiences of distress and suffering, if we let it. Depending on our approach to our experience of suffering and challenge is how we will be shaped by it. However, it's not an easy thing to know how to gracefully embrace suffering and emerge smelling like a rose. So if suffering is not the natural state of the soul, then what is? The Bhakti Yoga tradition guides us into positive action by engaging us in activities that are the natural state of the soul. This kind of information is not so prominent in our busy, crazy world. However, it is readily available. It's like a powerful medicine only available to the select few, those who seek it. Now, the chanting of the Maha Mantra, or the Great Mantra as it's also known, is actually a way of engaging us in this positive activity of the soul, because the soul's inclination is to connect with a supreme divine soul, and the chanting of the Maha Mantra is a way, a tried and true way to achieve this. So we'll chant the Maha Mantra together now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it enables us to tune in with the love of our soul and the reciprocal love of the Supreme Soul, Krishna or God, or he has infinite other names. So through the Maha Mantra and that reciprocal exchange that occurs therein, it is actually Krishna's way of calling us back to where we truly belong, a place where there is no suffering, the spiritual world. Because ultimately, we all share the same malady in our experience of distress and suffering, and that is disconnection from the love that is truly ours. And until we actively engage in those positive inclinations of the soul, the positive experiences that are designed to uplift the soul and reconnect us with Krishna or the Supreme Divine, until that time we are unable to transcend the suffering that just keeps us bogged down and stuck in this material reality, lifetime after lifetime. So if we persist and if we engage actively in a daily manner with some kind of a spiritual lifestyle and routine that takes us closer and closer to that experience of transcendence, then that is when suffering becomes eventually a distant memory. So we learn through the Bhakti Yoga tradition how to make suffering our best ally, because the more we suffer, the more likely we are to seek alternatives to the remedies of suffering that are available in the world around us, readily available in today's modern society. We seek alternatives that take us closer to who we truly are and actually lead us to the place that we were always meant to be, a place of no anxiety, no distress, and no suffering. So in this way, Bhakti Yoga shows us how to end our problematic relationship with suffering once and for all. Now, if you'd like to know more about Bhakti Yoga, please visit my website at newheart-newworld.com. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if this video was good for you. Now I'll be back with many more videos on the secrets and not so secrets of Bhakti Yoga. So please join me as we explore the ancient teachings and sacred knowledge of the Bhakti Yoga tradition together. Now until then, I wish you all well.